I'm going to give it a few minutes, see if I can get a few viewers to sign in and watch, and then I'll get started. Get started here. Set the camera up in a way that things can be seen here. So we'll start by knocking a hole in this. I went with 9/16 because this one's a little bit wider of a $1/2. And usually I do $1/2 at 1/2 inch, but since this one's a tad bit bigger, we're going to go slightly larger on the hole as well. This camera's probably gonna fall when I start hammering, but we'll see what happens. Alright, that got through nicely. Usually I add a little bit of paper towel to this so that when I knock this punch out of the coin, it doesn't end up flattening any of the details on it. There we go. Good clean punch on that. Usually I add a little bit of electrical tape there so that there's no impressions on the coin from knocking the hole in it. Sometimes it can flatten out some of the details towards the cut edge if you don't add that. But when you add that, you get no detail loss all the way to the start of the hole there. There you go, that's a little better. Yeah. Put my 90% in there. Gotta save that silver when I can. I use the deburring tool, but as you can see, it's still not perfect in there. So what I'm gonna do is sand that smooth before I start any folding at all. Now it's almost perfectly smooth where that cut edge is. It's almost impossible for a coin to split when you take those extra steps to make sure this hole is smooth as possible. See if you can see where I anneal at from here. Yeah, you can see it. This is my annealing surface here, so. I got it annealed for the first time here. Quenched in a Sparix solution and then rinsed off with water and dried. And kind of a blast white look to it. You could still see where some of the Sharpie was on the 1820 portion there, but it got most of it burned off, so we know we got good annealing temps there. So. I still use a doming block to start my folds on many of the coin rings I make, so. The only one I use a folding puck for is for like stake hoarders. They're just it's kind of a quick method to use a folding puck, then the die, and you just blow right through those coins. Stuff like this, you want to take a little extra time, make sure you're doing everything the best you can. Started my fold. Oh, normally I'd keep going with it if it was any other $50, but with a coin like this, just take your time. I'm gonna go ahead and re-clean up this edge. I'm not noticing anything too much to be concerned about, but there's one tiny little spot. Let's see if I could get it on the camera there. Ah, yeah, right there. It's kind of just a little bit of something, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna sand it out anyway. Yeah, now it's smoothed out even better there near the cut edge. So we'll go ahead and give it another annealing here. Let's see if there's any questions. Yeah, looks like nobody's asking questions, but if you have any, just type some in there. I could see it on the screen. So we're gonna put it in another dome besides the one it was in. Get it to fold over a little more. folding nicely. No issues yet. 25-degree die, no, almost 17. Almost wants to fit in the 1.2, so, but not quite. I prefer these ones over the steel ones. They're a lot easier on the coins, especially 90% silver. The steel ones will just, I have one, but they just mar up the details and you got to take time to wrap it all up. And I don't have time for that, so I use these little fake wood ones or whatever.
What? Oh no!
Cut edge is still holding up fine. Gonna go ahead and sand it again though, just take that precaution. Looks like no surface splits on it, which is good. Some of these older coins will like to do that. Everything's going smooth so far. Yep, perfect. Now we can finish our die folding here. Probably can go to the 1.2 now. Just about. There we go. Fold it over just about perfect. Looks like it started to touch the die a bit on the bottom of the stars. Didn't flatten them down, but did make contact, so that's not great, but it'll still finish up nicely.
What? Oh no!
And probably hit the ring stretcher, which my camera is actually set up right next to that, so we'll move things around a bit, see if we can get a good view on it. There we go. That should work. Let me find my measuring mandrel. I got it somewhere here. Let's see, we're already at size 11. Goal size for this one's going to be 10.5, so I'm going to end up putting it in reduction dies. Swedish wrap dies or whatever. Get it down and into a good shape. Yeah, everything's looking good on it. A little bit more sanding here. Now it's folded over enough that I can actually just sand the whole cut edge at the same time.
What? Oh no!
It's wobbling just a tiny bit. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see it's got a little bit of a wobble to it. But that's nothing to be concerned about. Ben Franklin's would have been a lot more wobbly at this point. Well, let me go ahead and flip things around again here. Let's focus back in. Hit the stretcher one more time. Alright, we're at about 13. Got a good shape to it, decent shape to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it through the dies now. Sorry, I have to keep moving this camera, but that's just how it is sometimes, I guess. Yeah, sometimes if you just take the die and bang it on the table, little rods or whatever you're using to push down with just pop right out. Good fun. This one will be next. Definitely not one we want to have the die slipping any. Yeah. Starting to get real close busting through to the details, so we'll see how far down we got it from that much reduction. I was sitting at around 13. Didn't get near where we wanted to. I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit more this next time, but I'm gonna give it a quick annealing, see if that'll help. Everything's holding up good on it. any. Alright, yeah, no questions that I see up here. Now, let's go ahead and peel this off here. So with the tape, I'm gonna make it about 2 sizes smaller with all this tape on here. So once I peel that off, it should be sitting around a 10, 10 and a half, and then we can do final shaping on the band. Yeah, we're out of the hard part of it now, or the risky part. The coin should definitely hold. Yeah, so we're at the desired size, but the shape of it is not even close to what we want. So here, you can see it's. There we go. I get it focused in here. There we are. So you can see we got the right size on it, but the shape's not right, so we're going to stretch and reduce until we get this kind of weird curvature out of it, which is no good for a finished ring. But got done what I needed to get done with those dies, which was to get it down to a size, and then from there, shaping's just stretching and reducing a couple times. Which actually I could start that before I do my next annealing. This is where 25-degree die can come in handy. There we are. Those, a lot less likely to get into the details on a 25-degree die. That can help us get the shape a little better on it, and then we can stretch and reduce for the final shaping of it. see just from that, it got a lot better shape to it. Still not right where we want it to be. So we heat it up, reduce it down, or stretch it and reduce it down, and we'll be all finished for the shaping. Stretcher again. There went that. Now my razor fell. Yeah, we're about 11 1/4, so that should be fine to get it to its final size. This last reduction here. Actually has a really great shape to it now. Still a tad bit uneven. Slightest little reduction should get it here. Yep, right there. 10 1/2. Take a little bit in on the top part here. Shape that I like. So Yeah, it's got a good shape to it. Of course, the reeded edges, or the reeded side. Well, actually, this one's a lettered side. It says half $1 or 50 cents on it. Kind of hard to see this camera, but yeah, no splits, no problems with it whatsoever. So sorry you don't get to see me freak out over busting a $400 coin. Not today. Alright, so a worn out buffer block right here with the gray side and the used to be white side. This gray side, if it's good and worn out, it'll take this kind of white stuff off of here from the Sparex dipping here. That's my first step for cleaning it up. So if I wanted to do a shiny ring, all I'd have to do is hit it a little bit more with the side that used to be white here, and that would put a mirror finish on it with no chemicals or, you know, mother's polish or any of that mess. I don't use any chemicals, I just buff them shiny and then finish up with a microfiber cloth. But we're gonna antique this one, so go ahead and get ready to do that. One last wipe off here before I give it a quick acetone bath. Immediately go into some clean water after that. Alright, so after the acetone and some clean water, I've got this solution here, which will tone it up quite nicely. It's already starting to react. I'll leave it in there for 2-3 minutes and pull the ring out then. So then I'm just going to sit here and relax for a minute. All the stressful stuff's over. Drink a little water. I wonder if there's a timer on this live video. I didn't feel like it took too long. More like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes? Didn't feel, went quick. Didn't feel like it was a long time. I'd say about 1/3 of my ringing process is getting the hole knocked in there, cleaning up the hole, getting that all ready, and then starting the fold. And then another third of the process is finishing the fold over and then getting it all shaped up and into the right size and shape. And then the last third is what I've started doing here, which is getting the finish perfect on it. Well, how I like it. I see everybody kind of does all sorts of different finishes on it, and all of them look good. But I like to go with a stark contrast of dark and silver. Give it another minute or so in here. It'll be about as dark as it's gonna get. Might as well give you a little tour of the workbench here. So, this is where I do most of my work right here, is where I've got my press, my little bins here and here, but a lot of folks don't see it's down here. I keep a lot of extra stuff, polishing cloths, little vape pens, punches, series of cylinders to reduce coins, and then down here stuff I use a lot less, scissors, hole puncher, where I store my 90% till I fill up a tube, and then I store it elsewhere. This cloth here is just a microfiber cloth. I only use it for finishing up coins and getting a nice shine on them. This one, something I hardly ever get the chance to use, but it's a steel mandrel that I could use for tooling or measuring for those larger sizes. It's a kind of a beast of a tool, but it mostly just sits down there and doesn't get used. But it's one of those things that when you need it, you're glad you got it. So coconut oil there, plumber's tape. Blue Monster's the best stuff I found. Some oak boards for when you want to, well, I find all sorts of uses for this. Straighten up coins without messing them up. And reduction dies, Q-tips and whatnot. Extra balls, all that shit. Well, but this should be just about finished up here. I'm going to rinse this solution off of the coin. We want to stop the reaction. Don't need it any more tone than it is. You can see it got pretty black in there. So we're going to go ahead and dry it off. Also noticed if I cut one of these sanding blocks, take the corners off of it, makes it a lot easier to fit a ring on it. Then I can just fit it on there, spin it a few times, and it'll take the patina off the inside really well.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Keep getting phone calls. I don't know if you can end up hearing those ringtones, but imagine you can. There we go. Let me look on the inside there. Real nice patina. Good contrast to it. So, I'm gonna clean up the outside now. Just use real light pressure. Slightly turn it as I sand this ring. After I do my first lap, then I can kind of just do touch-ups where I want to take a little bit more away. Looking better now. Still not quite there. It's got kind of like a matte finish on it. So I'm gonna rinse it off with a little scrub in some cold water. We'll wipe it clean. Get my fingers cleaned off pretty good too. Now we're back to the buffer blocks. So first thing I'm going to do is hit this cut edge, then hit this rim with both sides of this buffer. You see, I just did the rim now, and it's, oh, let's see if we can get a good shot of it. Yeah, it's about perfect. Oh. The bottom of the coin. Real quick with the shine, and then the rim, or the lip of it, the outside lip here. Put a good shine on the lip of it and on this edge too. So got part of it shined up. Next, I use one of these jewelry wipes. That's the next step for shining, and just gently buff it with one of these. It's bringing the shine to another level on it. And then the final shining I do with my microfiber cloth. Now this cloth I only use for this step. I don't use it to, wipe up dirty surfaces or anything. So all this darkness in the cloth is just kind of an infusion of the polishing compound that's inside of these cloths. So after about a year or two, this cloth just got kind of infused with its own polish, and some gentle buffing with it for a minute or two will put pretty much a mirror finish on these rings. We're at our final result here. Let me throw it on something and we'll take a good look here. I always like seeing the edge where it's tapered like that. It's true size on the one side and then it's a little wider on the other, but so you get in more even band. I wonder if we could see the writing on this. Yeah, it's a little distorted on the outside writing here. Let's see if we can find a different surface here. This is half $1 or right there 50 cents, so 50 cents or half $1. It's not coming up too great in the camera, but that's about it. It's finished up and ready for shipment. So I'm gonna retake the photos in my shop with this one, kind of give them an update. Turned out good. Thank you for watching, everybody. It was fun.